I mean, yes, she's right, because you'd have to... If it was about which dogs can cause max damage, then you would be looking at Dobermans and German Shepherds and all of those kind of things. And some of those breeds are absolutely stunning and beautiful. And those people that own those kind of dogs, generally speaking, want to take care of them. They've done due diligence. They've researched it. They know about the breed. They know what it takes. They know the environment that it's in. They wouldn't dream of leaving those dogs anywhere with kids. They certainly wouldn't dream of ever taking them off a lead. They wouldn't dream of going out without them muzzled. All of those things. But this particular... I mean, I worry for the human race on many stories. You know, this comes up from time to time. You wonder where on the evolutionary scale, what kind of half-wit, somebody with the mental capacity of a lobotomised chimpanzee who decides, here's a good idea, I might live in a two-bedroom flat, but I'm going to own an XL bully dog. Right, firstly, number one, you're a moron, clearly, by definition. Number two, do you know anything about dogs? Are you clued up about dogs? Do you realise that a dog like that probably needs a bit of space? Psychologically and physically, a dog like that needs a bit of space. They don't even want to be monkeying around in a little garden. They need something bigger than that. They certainly need to know that they are with an owner that can control them, that's going to exercise them, not a status symbol. How do they get off the lead in the first place? Because the attacks we have seen recently, there was one just yesterday, there was the little girl. These all seem to happen in the West Midlands as well. There's a little girl whose arm was badly damaged. Was that on a forecourt of a petrol station or something? I seem to remember those images. And the one yesterday, which sort of chimes with this fatal attack that happened last night, there was also a little boy that was attacked on. He was playing football in the street, and suddenly one of these dogs out of nowhere. What's it doing off a lead, for God's sake? What was somebody who lives in a street like that doing, owning one of these things? Why would you want a breed that is capable of that kind of devastation? That almost, you know, one of the reasons these dogs are angry is because they're not being looked after properly. They're not being trained properly. The kind of fool that owns one of these things owns it because it is all of those things. It owns it because it looks a bit mean. It looks like it could take your throat out. It looks like the kind of thing that only has loyalty to its owner. And I think these owners get off on that. I genuinely think, you know, he only listens to me. You can almost hear people say he doesn't like anyone else, doesn't like children, doesn't like women, doesn't like people with French accents. I don't know, you know, people have this list of things that upsets the dog. You shouldn't be anywhere near a flipping dog, mate. You shouldn't be allowed to pet one, let alone own one, for God's sake. But there is this contingent of people, but there are dangerous dogs. There are overtly and obviously dangerous dogs out there. And these things are just really dangerous. Any dog can nip you. We know that. But this kind of damage, a man has died in this country because he was attacked by two dogs. In broad daylight, a man is dead because he was attacked by dogs. Not hit by a car, not attacked by a lion in a zoo. But two dogs. Someone's pet, presumably. 0344 499 1000. I fear for the sanity of some of my fellow humanoids when I read these kind of stories. And you know what? It is usually these kind of dogs. It very rarely is. You don't often hear it was a poodle, what did it? I know people have been nipped and bitten by all manner of dogs, but it's usually these kind of dogs. And why is it that whenever you see the owner, you're kind of not surprised? Oh, him, he owns, yeah, well, he looks like the kind of half-wit that would own one of these.